Okay, good morning, student.
Morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
How are you today?
I'm good.
fine.
Okay, thank you for your response. I will check your attendance for today learning. Okay, Komang Trimahatana.
Present, sir.
And for the last one is Putri Wulan. Are you here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So before I start the learning, I will tell the rules in my class. So I want everyone to participate. So you guys and I are also still learning here. So don't be shy to answer or ask questions. The second is don't do things that are not important and stay focused on learning. Before we start the lessons, let's pray first. Pray start. Pray finish. Okay, before we start learning today, I have an example about today material with a video. You can just watch this video.
Assalamualaikum. Hello about the lion and they just lived once upon a time a tree soon opened his mouth. That's all. There's no get out. Then the lion. Oh, little mouse. I'm happy. I'm happy. The moral filled kindness will be rewarded. That's all the story. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, after you watch the video, what do you think is the topic of today's lessons?
Can I, sir?
Yes, Wulan, please.
I think about narrative text, sir.
Exactly. So today we will learn about narrative text. So today lesson in 4 categories. For the first one, I will tell you the definition of narrative text. Next, I will tell you the purpose, characteristic, and last one, the generalistic structure of narrative text. For the next, what do you know about narrative text? Can anyone?
Can I, sir?
Yes, comment remark,
Can I, sir?
please.
Alright, narrative text is a type of text in English to tell a story that has a series of connected chronological events.
Okay, thank you, Rima Hartana. Your opinion is very good, so you get bonus point for me. I will explain the narrative text in more detail. So, narrative text is a type of text that tells about something that is imaginative story or a series of events chronologically. The purpose of this text is to entertain the reader about a story or stories. Narrative text is generally imaginative, aka not real, or in the form of the imagination of the author. The next is the purpose of narrative text. So, the use of the narrative text itself has several purposes, such as entertaining, educating, telling, conveying the author experience or as a media to develop the imagination of the reader. For example, of narrative texts such as folklore, fairy tales, or fables that are legendary form are part of the world. Although the narrative text is generally imaginative, some narrative text is also factual. The next is characteristic of narrative text. There are 4. The first one, narrative text is use a past tense like kill, drown, etc. Second one is narrative text use a adverb of time like once upon time, one day, etc. And third is narrative text use time conjunction like when, then, suddenly, and etc. And last one is certain nouns as pronouns for certain people animals, and things in the story, like the princess, the girl, the queen, the friends, and etc. Okay, next, I'll explain to you about the general structure of narrative text. There are three. The first one is orientation for opening story session, and the next is complication for the conflict, and the last one is resolution for the any story section. So the orientation section contains the opening of the story that contains the introduction of characters, introduction to the background time and place of the story. Anyway, this section contains a general part of the story that includes what, who, when, and where the story is told. Next is complication. So in this section, the main character start experiencing conflict in his life, and the main character must resolve the conflict. And for the last one is resolution. So the resolution section is the ending story section. In this section, all the problem must be resolved by the main character. In the resolution section, there is also usually a moral value that we get from the story is called coda. So that was all the material about narrative text for today. Do you have any questions? Don't be shy to ask. Hello student, please respond.
No, sir. It's clear for me.
Clear, sir.
Okay, if there are no questions, next I will give an example of narrative text entitled True Fans. So I will give you 2 minutes to read this example. Okay, after you read the example, I will divide the groups to you according to order of your absence. Okay, I give 2 minutes for each group to work on the question. I will choose group 1 to Trimarada and Putiulan as group 2. There are questions for group 1 is find the characteristic obtained in the text so that it can be categorized into narrative text. And for group 2 is find the generic structure in the text. Do you understand for the question, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, keep discussion. Okay, time out. I choose group 1 for presentation first and continue by group 2. Okay, terima kasih. Time is yours.
All right, sir. Well, thank you for the time given to our group. So the result of our discussion are the first one, using past tense and example in the text are claimed, asked, and replied. And the second is use adverb of time and examples in the text are once upon a time and after that. The third is use time conjunction and examples in the text are suddenly and after that. And the last one is certain nouns or pronouns for certain people, animals, and things in the story. An example in the text are the friends. I think that's all, sir.
Okay, thank you. For group 2, do you want to respond the presentation from group 1?
No, sir.
Okay, presentation continue by group 2.
Okay, sir. Thank you for the opportunity given to our group. So the result of our discussion is number 1, the orientation is in paragraph 1, namely in the sentence once upon a time until the end of paragraph 1 to open the story. And number 2, complication. Complication are found in paragraph 2 and 3. And namely in the sentence suddenly until the end of paragraph 3 to tell the conflict. And the last one is resolution. Resolution is found in paragraph 4, namely in sentence after that until the end of paragraph 4 to end the story. That's all from me, sir.
Okay, for group 1, do you want to respond the presentation from group 2?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you for trying to do the discussion for according to your group. Then I will provide feedback for you. So for group 1, in your answer, you can still do more analysis. For example, certain nouns as pronoun for certain people, animals and things in the story because there are still the tree and the forest, and the past tense is also still in the sentence, namely promise. So group 1 is still incomplete, and for group 2, your group has done a good and complete analysis, so group 2 will get bonus point from me. Okay, that's all for the lessons. Thank you for your participation for today. Before I end this class, does anyone want to give a conclusion for today's material?
May I, sir?
Yes, Wulan, please.
Okay, thank you, sir. So today we learn about narrative text, start with self-definition, objective, characteristic, genre structure, and at the end we have a group discussion. That's all, sir.
Very good, Wulan, and thank you. So after you learn about narrative text, you are expected to understand about narrative text and motivate you to learn to write narrative text. For next week, I will give an assignment for each group to find an example of narrative text and analysis like the discussion question earlier, and it will be collected next week. Any question for next week assignment?
Clear, sir.
Clear, sir.
All right, thank you for your response. Well, if there are no question, I will close to the lesson by praying. So for all students to pray, start. Pray, finish. Thank you for participating in this lesson and see you next week.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.